Welcome. You are now tuned in to another episode of the Full Court Trio. My name is Bro Claw from Steady Serving Sports, ENT. And today, we're going to get into Shedeur Sanders' legendary year after these messages. Shedeur Sanders came up to the Las Vegas stadium and went inside knowing that he was going to be without defeat. Shedeur Sanders, went through all types of different scenarios of him not being all what an NFL player supposed to be, all the way from the draft, which we are familiar of what happened. But here's a little bit of what these naysayers had to say. It says Shedeur Sanders is no longer just a developmental prospect for the Cleveland Browns due to the series of events and injuries. The other quarterbacks on the roster, the fifth round pick has become the team's starting quarterback in week 12 of the 2025 NFL season. It says the timeline of events, the 2025 draft, Shedeur Sanders drafted in the fifth round with the 144th overall pick, a surprise fall from pre-draft projections that had him as a potential first-round selection. The Browns also drafted fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel in the third round. Training camp went. Sanders began as the fourth quarterback on the depth chart behind the veterans Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel. Starting the start of the season, after the roster countdowns and trades, Shedeur moved up to the third string position. He assumed the backup role in October when Joe Flacco was traded to the Bengals. Week 11, starting quarterback Dillon Gabriel suffered a concussion against the Baltimore Ravens, and Sanders took over in relief, making his professional debut. Week 12, with Gabriel still in concussion protocol, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski named Shedeur Sanders the starter for the up-and-coming game against Las Vegas Raiders. This marks his first career NFL start. This rapid rise in the depth chart gives the Browns a chance to evaluate the potential of the high-profile, yet initially low-drafted rookie quarterback as they search for a long-term solution at the position. Well, like I said, we knew all of the shenanigans that went on and on and on throughout the Browns organization. Kevin Stefanski even went as far as not even mentioning Shedeur Sanders' name on the podium when he was asked about the quarterback situation. And then he went weeks after weeks after weeks after weeks of not even saying that Shedeur Sanders was progressing. He's not doing personal, with his name behind whatever he's talking about. We saw that he continuously put Dillon Gabriel in the place of the starter, of the quarterback position. And as we saw, the debacle, Dillon Gabriel could not deliver. So we went into the 11th week. Dillon Gabriel caught a concussion, went under the concussion protocol. Hey, Shedeur Sanders was inserted in that game, but it was not a great look. He was really, really frustrated. But then on come the critics, on come Rex Ryan, on call, all of those ones who's criticizing his game, we knew it was going to come. We all absolutely knew that that was going to happen with Shedeur Sanders. But you're talking about a kid that wasn't even having any reps. No reps at all. No chances with the first team. They didn't know his cadence. And then he was inserted into the football game after Dylan Gabriel took an injury. But more after these messages.
Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the simplest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick on entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use our promo code FCT and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow the 4-court trio as we share our picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money, make picks, win cash. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us, and thank you for using promo code FCT on Underdog Fantasy.
I want to read you a publication from the Associated Press, you know what I'm saying, of the NFL. It says the Brown QB, Shedeur Sanders, message to the critics after winning first start, failure ain't gonna happen. Yeah, you tell them, nephew. You know what I mean? Shedeur Sanders, Las Vegas, says the last time Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders was inside an elegant stadium, he and his Pro Football Hall of Fame father answering similar questions during Big 12 Media Day about whether they felt pressure from pressure to perform at a high level than their peers. Has it changed? Sanders asked when he was reminded of the day in 2024 after he won his first NFL start on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, I felt very relaxed. And half of that comes from preparing, studying, and knowing I got God on my side. So throughout all of that, I had no worries. I didn't feel nervous or anything before the game. With his dad, Dion, Coach Prime Sanders, in attendance, Shedeur Sanders made some big plays. The Browns had lacked in the passing game while completing 11 of 20 attempts for 209 yards with a touchdown and an interception. That was plenty of the Browns. That was plenty for the Browns and their foursome defense in a 24-10 win over Las Vegas Raiders. Myles Garrett had 3 of the Browns' 10 sacks. A defense performance that took the pressure off Sanders and helped him in a 17-game losing streak by quarterbacks making their first start for the Belgian franchise. This time last year, Sanders was a Heisman Trophy candidate during his final season, playing for his father at Colorado. Projected at the first round, the NFL draft pick, he fell to 5th round, and he spent most of this season at the bottom of the Browns' depth chart. He had a rough NFL debut and prior weekend in relief of the fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel, who left with a concussion midway through the Browns' loss to Baltimore. Listen, being a backup in everything, sometimes you have to compromise your personality and change the way you do things. To never step on any toes, Sanders said, the fact that I got an opportunity and I was able to show the organization, show everybody who I am, it's truly exciting. Now, you guys can catch that article that's actually in the Associated Press for the NFL. You can read more about that. Listen, Shedeur Sanders came into this game already knowing that he was going to do what he did. He was very relaxed. He was poised. He looked for, his targets. Listen, he handed the ball off really good to the running back, which gave him multi yards. This was a beautiful, beautiful display of the legendary Shedeur Sanders, which we going to get more and more and more of this type of excitement. But I wanted to cover that today to let you guys understand that Shedeur Sanders is not going to be stopped. He's not going to be stopped. He's not going to be stopped. He's going to be legendary. So I leave as I came with another banger. See, please, please, please. Understand that the Full Court Trio has brought you this to listen to everybody who thought that Shedeur Sanders was going to fall. He is not going to fall. And for all of those who think that he is the #1 overall pick of this draft, leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think, because I think he was #1. You know what I'm saying? Based on his peers right now and how they reacted. But as always, keep the main thing, like my main man K-Sap saying. Tune in to another episode of the Full Court Trio. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the Full Court Trio. And hey, as always, I appreciate you what you do. I appreciate what you've done. And I appreciate what you will do. Out.